Every day is kind of a little different. I usually get up anywhere between 5:30 and 6:30. On the days that I have work, I drop my daughter off and then I head off to work and I work a full day. On the days that I go to school, we're there the entire day.
Swiss cheese.
We do a lot of times go to a restaurant where there's Wi-Fi so we can study while we're eating.
46-year-old Danielle Williams is a lot like other busy single moms. She takes care of her daughter and their 2 dogs, all while working and going to school. Except that each night, she drives back into Santa Barbara and goes to bed here, in a parking lot, in her minivan.
This is a Chrysler Town & Country. My seat actually will go forward and back easy. Even with the space that I've given myself, it's not quite enough for my knees. If I want to sit at the edge of the bed to be able to then push myself to the back.
Because there's a bed here?
This is a bed here.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So if you look in the back.
Oh, from this angle, it makes much more sense.
Yes.
What about all this other stuff? How did you decide what to have in the car? Are these just necessities?
So obviously the dirty clothes hamper, so we can keep our dirty clothes and our clean clothes separate. This is my daughter's bag of clothes. It's about 2 weeks worth of clothes that we keep.
The rest is
in storage. We have a 7x10 and it's pretty much full. We had a life before this.
Danielle downsized from an apartment to a car 5 years ago, after she was laid off from her full-time job in accounting. She tried to look for other full-time work, but realized there isn't much of a market for someone in their 40s without a college degree.
I just couldn't pay the rent anymore. We just ended up sleeping in the car, thinking it was only going to be temporary.
During a good month, she's only able to make about $2,000 working temp jobs, which doesn't leave much wiggle room. She pays $370 a month to lease her car, $93 for insurance, $150 for gas, $225 for 2 phones, $117 for storage, $50 to shower at the YMCA, and about $900 in food, since she and her daughter have to eat out.
It usually ends up that we maybe have about $100 left over.
Do you consider yourself homeless?
I do consider myself homeless. The world considers me homeless. When you think about homeless people, you think about somebody who's maybe on drugs, who is an alcoholic, has a lot of mental health issues, or is lazy. The rest of them are people like me, where they're actually working, going to school, trying to get out of the life that they're in, and just can't.
Have you considered living in a shelter?
We did one night at the rescue mission. That was terrifying for my daughter. And I just felt like I would rather sleep in my car because I feel safe in my car than sleep in one of these places. I don't have any other option.
Living in a city where sleeping in your car is technically illegal isn't exactly comfortable either. It means having to park in dark places with few people, which can be dangerous, and risking being hassled by the police, which can be costly. That's why Danielle landed at a designated safe parking lot. It's one of 23 across the city that are open overnight and equipped with porta potties and lot monitors. The program, which was started in 2004, was the first of its kind.
So you have empty parking lots, which at night go unutilized, and you take them and you turn them into a shelter for people who are living in their vehicles.
Christine Schwartz runs New Beginnings, the nonprofit that oversees the safe parking program in Santa Barbara. She manages 2 caseworkers who help people living in their car apply for housing.
How are things going?
We've had doctors, we've had professors, we've had nurses, engineers, people who are gainfully employed who have a situation where they have a number of setbacks.
It's unclear how many people live in their cars by necessity because the government doesn't track vehicular homelessness. But Christine estimates that in Santa Barbara, they make up more than a third of the homeless population. How large is the program right now?
The Safe Parking Program now has grown to 134 spaces in 23 lots in the city of Santa Barbara, the city of Goleta, and in the unincorporated areas in between.
Is that enough?
We constantly have a waiting list that can range anywhere from about 30 to more than 100 people at any given time, and we never have enough lots.
There's a shortage of affordable housing in every single state in the country. But it's especially bad in California, where the most recent numbers show the gap is almost twice as large as it is anywhere else. That's made Santa Barbara's safe parking program appealing to other cities in the state, like LA, where 16,000 people now live in their vehicles, 32% more than just 2 years ago. In March, LA opened the first of 4 lots. Molly Reisman, who works for the county, helped oversee its implementation.
For the private real estate industry, there's no profit in building housing for people at the lowest end of the spectrum. So the only sector that can really do that is the government, and yet there's this very strong pushback of like, don't let government do anything in real estate. And that tension has led us to where we are today.
Is it easy to find parking lots that are willing to let you use them?
No.
What has caused the reluctance?
So there's a couple different things. I mean, anytime you say we're going to do something to assist somebody experiencing homelessness, we do find that there are community concerns. There's NIMBYism, not in my backyard, and we have to work with the community to help them overcome that. There's always concerns about liability. If there's an accident, who's going to get sued?
What does it say about where we are that a program like Safe Parking, where instead of giving someone an affordable place to live in, we're giving them a parking lot?
No, I mean, it is not a great state of affairs. But we have so many people experiencing homelessness that we're dramatically trying to increase shelters, but we can't do it fast enough. So safe parking is this alternative.
LA's new safe parking lots opened just in time for Danielle, who was recently accepted to college there on a scholarship. Last month, she and her daughter drove down to LA for orientation and got a permit for a parking spot in North Hollywood.
I'm hoping that, maybe something will happen and we'll be able to get a place to live here. But I know that as long as I'm in school, I can't afford the rent that's in any city here in California.
At any point, have you questioned whether you made the right decision to go to school instead of working 2 jobs and trying to make it work?
All the time. I need to find a solution that's gonna make things better for us in the long term. Do I regret it sometimes? Sure. But at the same time, I know this is the right thing to do.